And good morning. I've not long set off from Fort William, and I'll say it's a bit of a dry morning this morning. It's just spitting with rain very gently. So I'm now in a lovely little trail. I'm heading towards Speen Bridge. This is also known as the East Highland Way. And it's all looking very quiet this morning. As you can see. Weather is supposed to improve, and I'm heading eastwards once I get to Speen Bridge, and I'm not sure I'm stopping for the night. Probably well camp in the Loch Lagan area. Yeah, it's a cracking wee path this for cycling on. Anyway, better get a move on. The rain has stopped. Brilliant. My plan to follow the East Highland Way towards Speen Bridge changed slightly, as that little path I was on continued on, and I had to branch off for the East Highland Way. So what that single track path I was on is actually the remains of the old narrow gauge railway known as the Puggy Line, and it was used, I believe, something to do in the construction of the dams and the smelter, for something to do with perhaps the underground tunnelling for the water tunnels. So that was good. That took me around to the Nevis Range, and I crossed over several of the mountain bike trails. And I just continued, I had a look at my maps and I continued along a trail. And I'm now here. I've bypassed Speen Bridge, and it's going to take me down to Glen Speen. Sorry folks, I think I'll switch the phone off for a while, conserve some battery. I just had it on back there just so I could double check my position on the map. And yeah, it is brightening up slowly. And do you know the good thing about today? I haven't met a soul. Very quiet, lovely. Anyway, I'm going to crack on. Hi everyone. I switched my phone off as I thought this section would be enclosed forest and be quite boring. So let's give you a better view than me. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, it's been a lot of felling been happening here, so it's actually given us some cracking views, and it's not been as boring or mundane cycle as I thought I'd be cycling through here. So there we can see some of the Loch Harbour hills. We'll pan round. There we go. So yeah, some dark clouds, but it's very, very warm. Short sleeve t-shirt, and I've got the shades on again. So yeah, we've actually met one cyclist as well on the gravel bike. Just, I was sitting having my lunch. So the only bad thing is I'm cycling into a headwind. So yep, that's the direction I'm going, and tonight's destination isn't set in stone. I was maybe looking at Loch Lagan or around the back at Loch and Ibra, maybe around that way. We'll see. So yeah. Anyway, time to get pedaling on the mighty steed again. Next destination, Loch Lagan, the eastern end. Here we go. Just camping back from the beach amongst the trees. I dare say it's some room with a view. We'll go down to the beach and have a wee look at it. There's no wind tonight, and unfortunately those little blood-sucking midges are out and about. What a place. Very quiet. There is one other camper further along. It's very quiet tonight. Fortunately we are a bit close to the 86. Just across there. There's a McPherson's tanker along the road. So yeah, cracking wee spot. I was a bit worried it might be a bit busy, but nope. Dead quiet. But if it was the weekend, it might be a different story. Beautiful. Oh, and I'll show you something else I found up here. Just walk along. Just a pity it wasn't a dead flat spot. I might have put the tent up next to it. I've been forever clearing all the pine cones. So I can have a little seat. I can come here and have a cup of coffee. I'll have a tea and just sit and enjoy the view. I think the midges might spoil that actually. Oh, there we go. That's quite comfy. Anyway, time for a cuppa. Morning all. I'm up fine early this morning. It's very peaceful. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Just looking across Loch Lagan there. Plenty of bird song this morning. So, up early in the morning. Still eat have breakfast. Now, when and where to go in outdoors. So, yep. So, going to poo in outdoors, there's obviously no toilets dotted around the world. So, this here is the toilet bag. So I've just been to answer the call of nature. So in the toilet bag, a cool logo there, I use, I can get it out with one hand. So, first things first, a towel. This little towel, I've got another one, this one weighs nothing. So towel and toilet paper. Unfortunately on my trip I've came across some what shall we call it, dirty camping practices near Fort Augustus. I was cycling past a field. There's a whole load of camping equipment just dumped. But a shame really, and yeah, hopefully there's nothing there for the farmer's sheep to eat and, you know, have disastrous effects. But there's been a few places I've been, here as well. I was looking for a spot yesterday, a little toilet spot, and I found 2 locations here. There's been toilet paper strewn all over the land, which is not very nice. You know, we come to these beautiful places to appreciate it, you know. We don't want to see other people's toilet paper strewn all over the land. So obviously I use a trowel, dig a hole and do the business, and then I cover back up the hole. Another thing in these beautiful areas is these damn scars where people have fires. Yeah, the romantic area is nice to come out and have a little campfire, but unfortunately in Scotland we've got these very little small pockets of beauty, and you know, if you came here, this is the last thing you want to see. I mean, that's probably a nice wee camping spot, you know. Can't camp there anymore. I mean, yeah, it can be repaired, but the grass is all burnt around it, and there's been instances as well where it's heated up the ground underneath, and the ground's kind of took fire. You know, the campers have left and thought nothing of it, and then it catches fire. I have came across such an instance and managed to put the fire out as if it was just a way to start. So yeah, leave no trace. Take your litter home with you, and if you can't, take a little trowel, dig a deep hole, away from any water sources of course, and bury it. And not your litter, your poo. Your litter, you take it home with you. I mean, there is instances nowadays people are saying, oh, you know, maybe you should start bagging your poo and taking it away with you, but I can't draw the point of that. Or draw the line at that, should I say. But yeah, anyway, enough of my ramblings. Here's a pretty Loch Lagan. There's some traffic on the A86 road. So I'm away to have breakfast shortly. Anyway, speak to you later. Good morning from a quiet Loch Lagan this morning. So now a little bikepacking trip from Doers to Aviemore. We'll call it not quite the Great Glen Way and not quite the East Highland Way, but I've pretty much been following the course of it down the Great Glen and then along what we call the A86 corridor from Speenbridge towards Lagan, but not on the A86 at all. It's all been off-road, absolutely fantastic, on the other side of the Glen. So I'm just going to do a quick spin around here to the setup I've got. So this is the Specialised Chisel hardtail, which I've just bought, not brand new, second hand. I've only done 200 miles on it, so it's been really good for this trip, absolutely fantastic. 1x12 gearing, which has been adequate. So how do I carry my tent, my sleeping bag and the rest of the kitchen sink? Well, on the handlebars I've got this Salsa anything cradle. It is superb. I'll move my helmet here. So one of the good reasons, main reasons I got this is, as you see, it puts the front of it away from the bars, and so it doesn't squish your cables up, which is good, and it touches a bag. And I think the weight limit is 3.6 kilos. I think I've been repacking my gear to try and get more weight in the front, so I probably had it at its limit yesterday near enough, and this doesn't move, this doesn't fall at all over rough terrain. It's fantastic. And the other thing which I've invested in, that's a very good word to put it, is some tail fin gear. So top tube bag, zip top, definitely a waterproof zip. I left it on the bike the other night in Fort William, where it chucked down the rain the whole night long, and contents bone dry in the morning. And another thing I've got is the Tailfin Aero Pack and the Tailfin Mini panniers. They've been rock solid. My last bike, the touring bike which I used last year with the Ortley panniers, I didn't do much off-road. There was off-road parts. The Ortley panniers tend to rattle a bit. These clip, it's all integrated, so you can take these off obviously. But they're just totally silent over rough ground, totally silent. And it's been a bit unnerving because I've been going down rough descents and I keep turning around, make sure they're still attached. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. So that's my tailfin aero pack and my mini panniers. And over here, surprisingly, I haven't got a very expensive tent this time. This is the Banchor Force 10, yes, Force 10 helium one. It's an absolute cracker of a tent. I did buy one many years ago, and there's one reason I didn't like it, which I'll go into in a minute. But that was for backpacking, not bikepacking. It's just a smidgen over a kilo. Very, yeah. Just sitting, just teetering over the kilo point. So it's very much like a tearing over laser style tent, Hilleberg Enan tent. And it's very easy to put up. I mean, I never put that up for years, and first picture of this tent the other night, no problem. So it's quite good. For one person it's adequate. So the only gripe I had with it when I used it for backpacking is the porch isn't that big. So at its widest point, I'll turn this around. So here's my size 9 shoe. So yeah, that's about the widest point of it. So you still, if you're out hiking in bad weather, which I was, where'd you put your big pack? You know, there's not much really is possible. And for cooking, that's not really safe to cook, but it does have a little trick up its sleeve. You can unhook this part here. Now, the little ring here, the best thing to have would be a little, you can hook it, pull it back. There's nothing to hold it back, so a little tent peg or something just to keep it back. There's my little firmer rest. Oh, hello jet boil. That's a jet boil. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. A little summary of my gear. And sleeping bag. I don't have a sleeping bag, but yes, I brought my quilt. I've used that quilt for years, for sort of summer to spring autumn weather. 580 grams at the most. I think that's with the stuff sack, and yeah, it's really good. So that's my little gear summary of what I'm using. Okay folks, hope you enjoyed me rambling on. What a cracking view. This is probably the highest point of the day. I'm now going to drop down to Glen Banchor. I've got a few stream crossings and then down the Glen to Newtonmore. Absolutely beautiful. Spin around here. So that's the hard bit over, to climb over. Now it's downhill to the Glen. So on my route today folks, we've just briefly stopped at this wee bothy, down the shallow like a bothy. I've never been here before. I've seen plenty of pictures and videos. I think there's like a big massive couch inside. Let's go in and have a look. I think I would burn stove as well. Maybe, or is it just a fireplace? I think it's quite a basic button bed in this one. Right, and doors obviously pretty narrow. Let's have a look. Definitely smells like a bothy. Yeah, it's just like a shed in the back. Yeah, okay. Alright, so what have we got? People Also they can carry in a full bottle of whiskey, but they can't carry it out, eh? Bag of rubbish. Some more inconsiderate people. It's got a good wood burning stove. Yep. And see a big couch. But I'm going to find out this. I'm not sitting down for a seat. I'm going outside and soak up the sun. Yeah. And bottle of Glen for the person never had any taste of it. Right, okay, let's go back out to the sun. So this section I'm on now, I'm kind of off-piste, you shall say. No tracks for a while. Oh, I'll just leave my phone here. Anyway, there we go. Right, so yeah, I've got a couple stream crossings. So I don't know how long it's like, maybe a couple of kilometres it's like this. Most of it's idle, a few bogs. And luckily, water is really low. So yeah, great fun. Thank goodness that's over, because that was quite a challenge after that last video I took. The path disintegrated into pretty much a rather marshy, boggy bit of ground. So it was basically over a kilometre of hike a bike, push a bike through the wet, squelchy land, wet feet. But it was actually quite nice to get the feet to cool down. So now that's it. We're on a track here which will turn into a really good gravel track shortly, and then we'll join the tarmac road down into Newtonmore. So yeah, that slowed us down. I could have took the road from Lagan to Newtonmore, but yeah, I've never actually done a section from Lagan up over to here. So yeah, quite happy I've done it.